doesn't happen how you want it to. I thought that by 30 I was going to be married and I might be, renting an apartment, or, I might have bought a place already. I thought I might be already a practicing dentist. Hey there, my handsome and pretty little Cobras, and welcome back to the Cobras Nest. For those of you who are new, my name is Mignon Cobra and I make minimalism videos. Today's video is going to be a quick and short one, and it is 5 of the most important things that I learned in 2020. So without further ado, let's just get into the video. Let's get it, let's go. Woo. I wanted to make this video because I've just been kind of reflecting on what are some of my goals for 2021, because right now it's Chinese New Year, so happy Chinese New Year. It's the year of the ox, and kind of got me reflecting on some of the life lessons that I learned in 2020. 2020 was definitely a very interesting and hard and beautiful year all at the same time, so I thought that I wanted to share some of the 5 things that I kind of took from 2020 that maybe some of you can relate to. Number 1, the law of manifestation doesn't work how you want it to. I thought that if you really truly believed, I want this and I'm gonna work towards this, and you make it like your life's goal, things are just gonna happen how you want it to. But I have found that that is not the case, and the law of manifestation doesn't always work, and not always how you want it to. A little bit of background: I was in medical school, I was doing dentistry, and my schooling got delayed because of COVID, and I was definitely in a really dark place, thinking about what it meant for me now that I've been kind of delayed a year. And I just thought that working really hard towards my career meant that everything was just going to come into place, and it turned out that was not actually the case. So I've become a little bit more open-minded about how I think my life will unfold. I think once you get closer to the 30-year mark, your life is just going to be so different from everybody else's, and there's no longer these milestones that we need to be comparing ourselves to, which is something that I learned the hard way. Alright, number 2, life doesn't happen how you want it to. This may seem a little bit similar to the previous point, but the previous point was law of manifestation, as in things that I really wanted. I wanted to graduate and I worked really hard towards it, and I really wanted my YouTube channel to blow up. Those were things that I wanted, so I was law of manifesting them. But number 2 is about referring to how your life doesn't happen how you want it to. I thought that by 30 I was going to be married and I might be, renting an apartment, or, I might have bought a place already. I thought I might be already a practicing dentist. I never thought that my life was going to turn out the way that it had. And at first I was really angry and I was really frustrated. And it took almost a year for me to kind of come to the conclusion that maybe this could actually be a beautiful thing. This could actually be one of the best things that's ever happened to me, and I can't even realize it because I'm too busy crying over how my life isn't how I want it to be. So I kind of realized that life doesn't happen how you want it to, and that might actually be a good thing. All right, number 3, learn to quiet the monkey mind. Oh man, 2020, my mind was just not having it. My mind fed me so much negative stuff in 2020, just so much self-doubt and so much frustration, that I definitely meditated a lot for a reason. I found that I really had to quiet my mind because the external stuff that usually I would use to keep my mind busy, like work, school, I didn't have that in 2020. In 2020, it was a limbo year. I wasn't in school, I wasn't working, and it was definitely a year where my mind was really loud with a lot of self-doubt and a lot of self-criticism. So I kind of learned that it's extremely important to have the reins on my mind. If my mind is a wild horse, I have to take control and I have to rein it in. I can't let it control me, because it can be really damaging if I let my mind spiral out of control. I find that I tend to ruin things around me because I let my mind tell me that my life's no good, I'm no good, I wish things were different, I hate how things are. And I never really realized I actually do have a very negative mindset when things don't go my way, and that's just not a really healthy way to live life. I decided that I wanted to practice stilling my mind and just observing my thoughts for just thoughts, and realizing that they're just thoughts and not actually my reality, because unfortunately your thoughts do become your reality. So I've actually kind of really realized the importance of understanding my thoughts and not letting them get out of control. All right, number 4, gratitude matters. I had been practicing gratitude for several years, I think about 3 years, but in 2020, I really had to take it to a different level. Before, I used to write out my gratitude, I'm so grateful for my boyfriend, I'm so grateful for my career, but in a I took it for granted kind of way. I never really realized how important gratitude truly was to I was like in 2020. And I'll be honest, even in 2020, I was still full of shit. I still really was taking for granted a lot of wonderful things that had come into my life. I really don't know what it was about 2020. I struggled really hard with gratitude. I was just filled with so much like self-pity. So 2020 was a really strong opportunity for me to practice gratitude, and not just like the I'm settling or yeah, this is great that it's in my life, but like I'm not really appreciating it kind of way, but to truly be like, wow, I have some solid stuff in my life. It's there in my life and it's outside of my power that it's in my life. Some examples that I can think of is just like really appreciating Will, really appreciating my mom, really appreciating the things that had come into my life, like my med school, the ability to have been able to pay off my OSAP, like still being healthy, having my health, having money when I needed it. Just these things I just took for granted. And I think that like moving forward in 2021, I'm definitely going to practice being a lot more grateful, like, truly appreciating what I have. And number 5 is realizing that life's best things are the small joys. In 2020, I don't know why, I kind of got obsessed and fixated with the social media lie that life needs to be like amazing highlight reels and you need to be living like the big glamorous life for your life to be worthwhile, for you to be worthwhile. And I hadn't really realized that I already was living a life of abundance and a life of like magic and wonder. And the only person who decided how wonderful my life was me. And as I reflected on the way that I behaved in 2020, it's like upon reflection, like I kind of started to see that life's best things are the small joys. When you think back to all of the wonderful memories that had happened in your life, the thing that you remember the most is actually the small joys. When you think back to high school, you don't really remember like the big accomplishments so much as you remember going out to Starbucks with your friend and getting a drink, or the little things that you and your boyfriend or girlfriend did when you were young, or the memories that you had when you were a child. Like before 2020, I was able to fill my life with so many other things that I thought were so much more worthwhile. Like I was super career obsessed, actually really career obsessed. And for me to take a step back in 2020 and realize that actually that life's best things are the small joys was really refreshing, because the reason that I was so career obsessed in the first place was because I was obsessed with money. And I think that it stemmed from my perception that I had grown up poor, when in all reality, I grew up with everything that I needed. And today, I have everything that I need, and I hadn't seen it. And the reason that I mentioned this about money was because I thought I needed more money to enjoy what life's best things are, like to enjoy what the best things that life has to offer. But I don't. I have enough. I'm already blessed with life's smallest joys. Okay, so there we have it. Those are the 5 important things that I learned in 2020. I don't know if this helps anybody else out, but I just thought I wanted to make like a heart-to-heart video with you guys, because honestly, you guys in 2020 were there for me. Like 2020 was pretty much just me, Will, and the Cobra's nest. So thank you for having taken the time to watch this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye!